mukoze nga semuna bakwongera omusaala.
That the tail end of the proceedings, when the Abdul Katun committee had presented this report with a recommendation that the Honorable Zaake should apologize, that's when they smuggled in now the petition of censure. At that particular moment, they had no authority or powers whatsoever. They had no jurisdiction to deliberate on that Mapendu's petition. Rather, yes, motion, as well as the motion of Wanundiomujen. They smuggled in those two motions. That was a serious breach of not only the rules of procedure, but also the Constitution in a number of provisions that we have cited. The other thing was about quorum. The law requires the rules of procedure read together with Article 94 of the Constitution and the Article 88. Parliament must have the requisite quorum at a time when they are taking a decision. And the requisite quorum at decision making should be a third of all members of Parliament. And a third, that translates to over 180 members of Parliament. But from the record, at the time of taking the decision, there were only 161. 155 voted for the motion to censure Honorable Zaake, 4 opposed it, and 2 abstained. In total, there were 161. That is obvious. They had no quorum. So there is no way you can take a valid decision, a valid vote in Parliament when you have no quorum. In addition to that, Rule 110, Sub-Rule 6 of the Rules of Procedure, read together with Article 94 of the Constitution, provide that if you are to censure a commissioner, you must have a vote of at least a half of the members of Parliament who have the right to vote. I have to repeat this. If you are to censure, if you are to impeach a commissioner, if they were to legally impeach the Honorable Zaake, the rule which I've cited, Rule 110, Sub-Rule 6 clearly states they must have at least a half of the members of Parliament with the right to vote. And you all know the X7. So there are over 500 members of Parliament, rather over 530 members of Parliament, but the ex-officials are only 27 or thereabout, meaning they needed a vote of censure. They needed a vote of not less than 250 members if they were to proceed legally. What they wanted to do, of course, mischievously, and rather unscrupulously, is to purport to suspend that particular rule. But once you do that, it means you have denuded yourself of the mandate. You have taken away the rules, the provisions of the law that gives you the mandate to take that particular vote. So the moment they purported to suspend that particular rule, everything collapsed. Because that is the particular provision which empowers them, which gives them authority to conduct that vote. So we are asking them, and we shall be asking them before courts, under what law did they carry that vote? So finally, and members of Parliament who are overzealously seeking to implement the decision of court, I mean, we are seeking for that injunction to restrain the Right Honourable Speaker together with those members of Parliament who are overzealous in seeking to implement the decision, that impound decision of Parliament, where they are demanding fan apology, they are seeking to hound him, to continue persecuting him. We are saying now, let them be called to order. Let them focus on other matters. Let them deal with the other matters of great national importance and stop hounding and persecuting the Honorable Zaake. That's what the temporary injunction is all about. Because now all the attention of Parliament is on Zaake. Every sitting, now they are in recess. If they were to sit today, you'd hear the speaker, how far have we gone with the Zaake matter? No. That has to be brought to an end. Then they adjourn, they say, how far did we go? Can we be updated? Attorney General, what are you doing? Kiraka, what is happening? No. So that's the reason we are seeking for that injunction, that the matter is before court, the status quo must be preserved. He is still a member, he has not been replaced by anyone, and nobody should touch him. That is the essence of that particular application, and we expect members of Parliament, we expect the Right Honourable Speaker, under Article 79 of the Constitution, they should be vanguards of rule of law. They should respect the due process we have initiated today and maintain the status quo and stop hounding and persecuting the Honourable Zaake, because now it's their daily business to keep pursuing him wherever he is. Even if it's a pen he got as a member of the commission, they want it. That must stop. So we want that to be brought to check. We thank you very much. May God bless you.
Okusookera ddala njagala okubategeeza nti Parliament wamu n'abo bonna abeenyigira mu kulaba nti bakola ebyo byonna ebikyamu ebitali mu mateeka, nti byonna bye bakola bali ku test. Parliament eri ku test okulaba nga tuzze wano, twagala okulaba nga tufuna constitution interpretation ku bintu byonna byagenda mu maaso, okutandikira ddala ku Right Honourable Deputy Speaker Mukumookinga Mukunjolonga n'okudda mu komiti etayina buyinza kunoonyereza ku ebyo bye bagamba, kubanga bo bye balina okwedifendinga, bye balina okubidifendinga bye boogera, oba bituufu oba si bituufu. So ffe tuzze wano si kwedifendinga, wabula kulaba nga Parliament yedifendinga ku ebyo bye yakola wabweru w'amateeka. Kyova olaba tuzze mu Constitutional Court okulaba nga bino ebintu binnyonnyorwa, era nga tumanyi bulungi nnyo nti tugenda kufuna okunnyonnyorwa okulungi, kubanga kino ekintu mbadde wano n'omulodi n'angamba nti omuntu ne wabanga teyakola na mateeka, eno ensonga nyangu nnyo kukola ki, kutegeera nti yali mu mateeka. So tulina okulaba nga ensonga zino bwe ziti ezijja ngeri ngaffe gye twagala ennyo okubeera ba law abiding citizens, okulaba nti bino ebintu nga bino ebikyamu tetubireka ku likodi, kubanga si ffe abagenda osooka okubeera abaka ba Parliament, si ffe abagenda okusembayo okubeera ba commissioner oba okubeera mu Parliament eyo. Bangi abagenda okujja, kino tukikolera generation ne generations ezigenda okujja okulaba nga tekisigala ku likodi, kubanga byonna bibaze nga bakola mu biraba bibadde wabweru w'amateeka. Era y'ensonga lwaki tuzze wano okulaba nga Parliament ng'omulodi wabagambye eva ku nsonga ezitalimu makulu edde ku nsonga ezirimu amakulu ezigasaba na Uganda mu kooti, okulanga ebyo byonna bye bakola mu Parliament bivaawo. Byonna bye bakola byali wabweru wa mateeka. Kati bwebanga byali wabweru mu mateeka, ate lwaki oba oleeta ekibuuzo ekyo? Nze siriwo kwedifendinga nga bwe mbagambye, nze ndiwo okulaba nga tubateeka ku order nga bakola ekibateekeddwa okulaba nga bakola ekiri mu mateeka, kubanga byonna bikyamu nga mulabye, nga mugenda okulaba ku kopi zino zonna ze tufayirinze in, ng'omusango gugenda okutandika, tulabe nti buli bannayuganda bonna bategeera ebikyamu ebyakolebwa mu Parliament eyo.
Also rules of natural justice which are well known, cardinal principles of natural justice, that one shall not be a judge in their own cause. In this particular case, the right honorable speaker was the prosecutor, was the complainant, and the judge at the same time. That was a total negation of the provisions of natural justice, which are well enshrined in the Bill of Rights and Chapter 4. So it was an affront, and a flagrant affront to the principle of natural justice, which cannot go unchallenged. The other thing maybe I should point out in conclusion, there was also another breach they committed. Each member of the committee was given 6 million ex gratia payment, contrary to the law. You see, there is that allowance they are entitled to. And for this particular case, I think it was for only 2 days. And as we talk right now, they have not been paid for those 2 days. The 2 days were not paid, but they decided to give them ex gratia payment, contrary to the provisions of Article 93 of the Constitution, which prohibit Parliament to charge the consolidated fund with payments which are not authorized under the law. So the 6 million that was given to each and every member of the committee, for lack of a better word, we construe it as a bribe. And that one we have pleaded it clearly, that actually members of Parliament who were given that 6 million took a bribe. And we are demanding that action should be taken against the members of Parliament who took the 6 million, because it was a bribe. They have their own emoluments, they have their own remuneration, and the allowances are well stipulated within the rules of procedure and practice of Parliament. The 6 million is not provided for anywhere. It's ex gratia payment. So we ask the Right Honorable Speaker, this money, what was it meant for, if it was not to bribe members of Parliament to sign the majority report? And that's a matter we want to be investigated and interrogated by the Constitutional Court, and we shall bring all the evidence to prove our case. In a nutshell, we are seeking for orders that the decision of Parliament, which was made at Travaillers in total breach of the rules of procedure, in total disregard of the principles of natural justice, and in the violation of the non-derogable right to a fair hearing, should be quashed. And the Speaker and whoever participated in this should be sanctioned by courts of law, because we want this practice to be brought to a halt, to an end, where members of Parliament are treated as servants of the Speaker. These are representatives of the people. And in this particular case, we have questioned the process on how Parliament purported to bring within the realm of their jurisdiction to investigate the conduct of a member of Parliament outside the scope of his employment, because he's a member of Parliament, and the rules of procedure together with the Constitution places him within the arms, within the reach of Parliament while executing his duties. But outside that, Parliament has no business. So they I
want to let you know that Parliament and the leadership of that Parliament, including myself, we are on a very huge test. Because whatever was done in that Parliament, in my matter, it was really wrong, illegal and unconstitutional. And the reason as to why we have come here, I've not come here to defend myself, but Parliament to defend whatever it did outside the law. Right from the beginning of the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker mocking me on the floor of Parliament, to the Katuntu Committee that had no locus to investigate those matters that they are alleging. So it is about them to tell us the truth, what they did. Secondly, to also be put to order, to arrest each and everything. So I'm here speaking to you as the Commissioner of Parliament, you know that hurts them so much. But I'm the one, because there's a temporary injunction that we have filed in today, awaiting a panel of judges to pronounce themselves about that. So whatever was done, I want to repeat it again, was wrong, and the reason as to why we are here, it is Parliament to defend themselves, not myself.
Omulimo gwayo tiimu y'abannamateeka nnene nga we mbagambye, baganda bange Aaron Kiiza, muganda wange Katana ne tiimu endala yonna, tuli ba tiimu nnyingi n'abalala, Saasima Vino wano be mulaba n'abalala. Omulimu tugumaliriza era kwe kuleeta petition eno nga bwe mugirabye. Grounds ezirimu oba ensonga enkulu ezirimu, bamenya ssemateeka, buli kyakolebwa, era twewuunya n'okwewuunya nti Parliament mu nnyingo y'ensanvu mu mwenda eya ssemateeka evunaanyizibwa mu kuuma ssemateeka butiribiri n'okumulwanirira, ate ne bagikozesa ebikyamu okumumenya. Abaakola ssemateeka baawa Parliament obuyinza okuteekawo rules of procedure mu nnyingo ey'E94, era rules of procedure ezaateekebwawo zikirambika bulungi nnyo nti bw'onooba komishona ku bwa komishona, amakubo g'oyitamu gafaananako ng'ag'okugoba pulezidenti w'eggwanga. Ago ge makulu ga kifo kya komishona. Muddeeyo musome akawaayiro namba 110 aka rules of procedure kagamba Parliament bwe munaaba mugenda okugoba komishona, waliwo procedure gye mugoberera efaananako ng'eyo okugoba pulezidenti w'eggwanga mu ntebe. Impeachment ya commissioner efaananako nga impeachment ya president, nti etandika ne petition nga abantu kimu kyakusatu bagisayininze bammemba ba Parliament, ate nga sergeant at arms ne kiraka buli kimu bakirabye bulungi, ne bateekawo n'ennaku eziteekeddwa okubeerawo ze muyina okugoberera, ennaku 14, ne petition yeyo nenoonyerezebwako nejja neewulirizibwa na buli kimu ne kituuka ku ntikko yaakyo. Bwe mujja mu debate bagamba nti petition in itself exceeded its mandate to purport to investigate a matter which is said to be in the social media, whereas a member of Parliament can only be investigated if you conduct yourself in an unpalatable manner in course of executing your duties as a member of Parliament. Strictly, that's what the rules say, and that's what the law says. So it's not up to the committee, it's not up to Parliament to keep probing private lives of the members of Parliament. So we want to have a limit to that. We want to have, that's one of the reasons we are seeking for the intervention of Parliament. Court, that please, we need to bring them in check, we need to control them so that they will be overstepping their mandate, among other things, because it's erina okukubibwako akalulu abamemba ba Parliament abataka wansi wa half oba kitundu kya bamemba ba Parliament abalina right to vote. Era neraga nti ne Parliament erina okubanga erina koramu mu kawaayiro aka 24. Koramu eyo ye a third oba kimu kyakusatu ekyabamemba ba Parliament. Naye mulabe ekintu kye baakola, we baakubira akalulu rekodi yeeraga bulungi nti bamemba ba Parliament baali 161, 155 ne bagamba nti oyo Zaake afuumuulwe, 4 ne bagamba nti ffe tuganye, 2 ne bagamba nti bo tebajja kubaako na ludda. Of course abalala baali bafulumya aba opposition. Kakati tewaaliwo koramu ewera, ekyo kiri mu lwatu. Ate n'okuteekinga decision oba okusalawo nti neeyo lulu tugisuspending eriko koramu, mwino era okuba ne koramu. Toyinza kubanga tolina koramu ate noga suspending erulu egamba nti tulina okuba ne koramu. Kegamba olaba ebintu nga bya kijinga. Kakati ne petition yennyini ey'amapenduzi si ye yagenda mu kakiiko ka Honorable Katuntu. Mapenduzi yatandikako collecting emikono n'akoma waakomye bwe bajja ku floor ya parliament ne baga nti tetugenda mu byasensha akakiiko ka Honorable Katuntu kagende kanoonyereze ku bigambo ebigambibwa nti Honorable Zaake yabiteeka ku mukutu gwe ogwa Twitter era bye bagendamu. Naye ate bwe batuuka ku floor ya parliament ne wabeerawo omubaka ndi omujenyi wamu n'omubaka Mapenduzi kati ate awo balismagolinga we bakukusiza ekiteeso ekyogamba nti Honorable Zaake bamugobe nga ne mu report tekiriimu mbubo balese motion okwamendinga report nga tebiriimu. So olaba ng'ebintu byonna byali mu fraud obukulupya obw'ekitalo. Kakati tebalina namba za salira half eyaba members tebabalina ne bagenda maaso ne bayisa nga tebalina numbers ezo. Ebyo biri obvious. Ddala bye tulaze kwe kuba nti speaker ye yali complainant ye yali omuwaabi ye yemulugunya yawaaba ate nga ye mulamuzi. Ekyo tekikkirizibwa principles of the Twitter principles of natural justice. Era ne ssemateeka waffe kwe musingi kwayimiridde chapter y'okuna Bill of Rights ye mpagi Ssedduge ssemateeka kwayimiridde ku Bill of Rights. Bujja mu Bill of Rights ssemateeka kifuuka kiwowongole. Kakati bano bamenya ennyinga enkulu ekwatagana ku ekyo ne bamenya ekirala kye tuyita non-derogable right to a fair hearing. Eyo mu article ya 4 nti omuntu okwewozaako kintu kikulu nnyo. Era mu rules of procedure mweyerulo ey'ekikumi bagamba nti speaker nga amaze okubiriza debate ewedde agamba alina okugamba Zaake bakuvunaanya emisango gino obadde weewozaako otya so si biri eby'omu komiti wano ku floor n'ekyo nakyo teyakikola. Naye ate n'ekyomu komiti kye baakola kyali kikyamu. Komiti bagiwa buyinza kunoonyereza ku member wa parliament nga ali mu kola mirimo gye nga member wa parliament, so si kumunoonyerezaako ne ku bulamu bwe obwa bulijjo. Mu bulamu obwa bulijjo Zaake nga member wa parliament ng'omuntu alina right okwogera byayagala. Bw'obanga gw'olaba nga bikunyizizza jangu omuwaabire obwaba omusango gwa defamation. Naye so si kozesa parliament okwagala okutuukiriza gwe byoyagala. Si ekyo kikyamu. Ekirala era kye tutaddemu ze miliyoni 6 ze baabawa. Kubanga etteeka mu article y'e93 ligamba nti omuntu yenna anajja ssente mu consolidated fund zirina okuba nga ziri mu mateeka. Kati mu mateeka bamemba ba parliament balina ensako yaabwe. Naye ensako yaabwe yali ya nnaku 2 ze baatuulira. Kubanga komiti yamala ennaku 14 amangu ago nga omukyala yabalagidde mu nnaku 14 mulina okuleeta lipooti. Kati baatuula mu nnaku 2. Naye mu kifo ky'okubasasula ensako y'ennaku 2 bakwata obukadde 6 buli omu kwata nga tebuli mu mateeka. Ekyo kiba kyeberanguzi. Era bamemba ba parliament batusonyiwe tubawo ekitiibwa. Naye buli eyakwata miliyoni 6 bakuwanguzi kubanga teziri mu mateeka. So ebyo nabyo tubireese wano kooti ebitunulemu. Ne tusaba ne injunction nti bayimirize mukyala speaker kirabika embeera ye gyaliko kati buli lunaku asiiba ku nsonga ya Zaake. Era ono olwaleero parliament ebakutuula yali baddaga twakomawa ku Zaake tutandikiraawo. Nyina n'okulowooza nti neyo gyali mu America akuba masimu agamba ku Zaake mukolawo ki? Ku nsonga ya Zaake mugituusizaawa? Obwongo bwe tebukyali ku nsonga za ggwanga, tebukyali ku nsonga ndala, buli ku nsonga zaki za Zaake. Zaake yamulinnya ku mutwe. So katwagala ensonga eyo kooti emuyimirize mugambe nti maama oli speaker kolako ebirala. Ate aleme kufuula parliament nga big brother house. Abalabako big brother nga akyaliwo wabeeranga eddoboozi eryo oba yabanga musajja yafaanana atya. Muli ng'obwana nga bagayitano bali muli bazina mazina gaabwe. Come to the local room. Bagiyita local room bagiyita. Come. Tuula wano. Walabiddwako.
Been working on this and finally we have brought the petition and filed it before the Constitutional Court, highlighting
A number of transgressions that were committed by Parliament in the process of censoring or impeaching our client, the Honorable Zaake. We have pointed out quite a number of issues, a number of grounds that have been laid out in the petition, but I'll just summarize them for you. One, Parliament, in the first place, did not have a petition of censure against the Honorable Zaake, contrary to the provisions of the Constitution and the rules of procedure. You know, the position of the Commissioner is such a very, very big office, a very important one, that in the wisdom of the framers of the rules of procedure and the Constitution made it clear, if you are to impeach or censure a member of the Commission, not being the leader of opposition, not being the Speaker himself or herself, not being those other those other members, if you are to impeach a commissioner of the caliber of the Honorable Zaake, the procedure you have to follow is well laid out, starting with a petition signed before the Sergeant at Arms with the required signatures, and it goes through various stages or processes before finally it is tabled in the plenary, and the deliberations made, and then he's called to explain himself, and then a decision taken. All that was never complied with. There was an attempt by one Mapenduzi to come up with a petition, but that was never processed at all. Actually, it suffered stillbirth. And eventually, what was presented before the Honorable Katuntu Committee was a totally different matter, general inquiry about the conduct of the Honorable Zaake, but not the petition. And the rules of procedure require that the process, this is why I wanted you to appreciate the importance of this process and weight of the position of a commissioner. The censure process is akin to the one Parliament has to adopt when censoring a president. That's what the rules say. The rules say you follow the process. Parliament has to follow the procedures, just like those procedures they have to follow when they are impeaching the president. That's how important this office is, and that's how significant this process and the rules of procedure should be. So that was never to be the case, because the whole process was bungled up. The petition, which was initially commenced by the Honorable Mapenduzi, as I said, it aborted, it suffered a stillbirth, and then there was a general inquiry about the conduct of the Honorable Zaake. Olwalero ojja kuba tojja kuddayo, waliwo lwe babateekanga kunaga, olwalero tojja kuddayo kutuula ne banno ne bakuteekako ewuwoka, olwalero gw'ojja okwera, olwalero gw'ojja okusiimuula ennyumba. Mukyala Amonge ayagala kutaninga house eyo into a big brother house. Eyo house ya kitiibwa, Parliament ya kitiibwa. So ekimu ku kireese Zaake ne ligo tiimu eno ng'oggyeko okufuna justice obwenkanya naye n'okuzzaawo ekitiibwa kya Parliament, kubanga we tutuuse mukyala Amonge ayagala gifuula big brother house. Ekyo tugaanye. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala.